boys, and we in here. Jump in.
Double O.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How you feeling, brother?
Feeling great. Feeling great.
All right. Just give me 1 second here. I'll be right back, okay? Just had to get that in there, you know? Exactly. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Stagnation. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. All right?
Saturday.
So we're trying something different today, right? We're doing the show live, right? And if anyone joins us and you have questions and things like that, then, you know, we'll definitely interact with you. But other than that, we're just going to be rolling with the show as usual, except it's just being done live. It's your boy Brazen.
And your boy Double O.
Double O.
Yes, sir.
Bitcoin is at 35K, man. Let's just jump right into it here. Because like there's kind of no two ways about it. Bitcoin is at 35K. If you told me last year that I'm going to be able to buy, or maybe even like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, that I was going to be able to buy Bitcoin again at 35K, I would have said you're crazy. How do you see it?
I would have said maybe like 40K, so you get.
Exactly. You know, that's the A. But here's the thing. And we've been doing our TA for a while now. And, you know, sometimes people don't believe in technical analysis, but I can't really argue with them either for believing that, because I mean what we do it works, right? And so it's like, how do you convince someone of something that is working but they don't believe in it? But it is what it is, right? Yes. So we're going to be looking at some patterns that have unfolded, a similar pattern that we're seeing across various charts right now, right? And the main ones we'll be looking at are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Phantom, and Solana. I think Solana as well. Definitely, we're going to look at Mana and Sand. So we actually, this reminds me, we have to probably keep our eyes on the chat, because if someone, we're doing this live, and if someone was going to reach out to us, we have to.
Yep. If you have any questions for us, if you're live right now, just ask if you want us to look into any crypto coin.
Chat. Yeah, I have a chat over on this side, so we have to pay attention to that. Dang. All right,
let's rock. Let's rock. Let's go.
All right, well, let's keep it moving here. So, let me pull up the chart here. Boom. All right, so before we even jump into it, right, we're gonna start with SPY.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, look, we don't usually do stocks, but in this situation, we're seeing something interesting, and we're just going to touch on it real quick before we move on to Bitcoin. So SPY kind of closed at $437 US, right? This is, I guess for those who don't know what SPY is, what is SPY?
Well, it's the index that tracks all the big tech companies. Okay,
so this tracks all the big tech companies, and we can see that ever since, you know, what was it, when the pandemic first of all hit, right? We had that massive pullback there, and this thing has just been ripping ever since, right? That was, if you want to look at it from the bottom of the pandemic there to the top, it was over 100 and something percent return, right? But if you're looking at it from the top of SPY, from that that top there from February 20th, right, to the top is about 50%. But SPY does not usually return this much
annually. No, not at all.
Annually, right?
It's
does not move this
average.
aggressively.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this would speak to that idea that the market, the value of everything on the market right now is off. Right, because people just kind of took that money and just put it into stocks. So we have a few support and resistance lines here, right? Speculating on where we think this might pull back to, and if we're to be on the nice side, I think maybe to about $427 there.
Yeah.
But we also have the possibilities of.
That's a very strong support line.
Yeah. It looks like a strong support line, but at the same time, I would say how much of that really is organic growth, per se. Not that there's any such thing in the markets because these people mess with everything, but I believe that this should be 50% less than it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not us just coming up with a suggestion, right? We're just looking at the charts, looking at the support levels. The government can come up with a solution and say, hey, okay, we're going to delay the interest rate increases. But I think the market is going through a correction right now. So if you're looking at the lines right now, that blue line that we have drawn up right there at the SPY level at 427, it's a very strong support level. So the candles that we have right now are super, super heavy, like 3 dead scrolls.
Yeah.
On number 4 is definitely going to touch 427. I'm not sure what news or what else they're going to cook up, but it's going to touch that. With what's going on at Ukraine, with the old China trouble, the federal rate increases, it's just a lot of madness going on. It's going to touch 427. But what we're saying right now is that...
Here's the interesting thing. If the whole situation with Ukraine is going on, right, this generally means that governments have to invest some resources for whatever conflicts they're having with these countries, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean for spending, government spending?
It's gonna go up.
Yeah.
We have no choice. It's gonna go up.
It's a horrible time to be doing that,
Yeah.
But
which is why we have that big red circle around all of that. So all that gains that we have is in question because each time it looks like we're about to go to war or we've gone to war, the market comes back down heavy.
Right.
So all the gains that we've gotten from COVID, we might end up losing everything.
Absolutely. I think we'll probably lose all of it. Right.
Yeah, we could lose everything.
We've not been buying stocks for a while now, and man, I read your post which you put on public yesterday, man. Right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because when you put up that post, man, it's just the transparency behind it was really, I think that was really that's pure, man. You see what I'm saying? Because it is. People always make it seem like every time you have to be winning or every time you're going to be winning, but we know very well that this is not the case.
Yeah, it just sucks that the losses are much heavier than the wins. It's good to get a 200% win on the Ford call option, but that's giving me $1,000, right? But then I have a $30,000 loss. Come on, man, that's a big difference.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing.
On the same lip call option.
I think what is really important about this period in time, man, is that a lot of people are going to be taking losses, right? We're all taking losses right now, and having the mindset to accept the loss and keep moving is really what makes the difference. I mean, everyone wants to make money in these markets, man. But if you're going to make money in these markets, look, if you ask me, I'm telling you, man, right now is the time that you need to be doing what you need to do to win.
The losses and the gains come together. So you can't just think that you're always going to take gains. You're going to take some losses as well. The goal is to take as much gains than losses. Exactly. Nobody's 100% on the market.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure.
All right, well, let's knock out this TSOO. What we're noticing is that obviously there is a pattern that is kind of repeating itself, and we're going to talk a little bit about double tops. And from that, we're going to finish this off with the Wyckoff theory. We're going to talk about the Wyckoff distribution theory, right? Using, schematic one. And then we're also going to talk about the Wyckoff accumulation theory as well, right? And this is the interesting thing about what it is that these are patterns that have repeated themselves over and over again. I remember a little while back when I did some TA on Cardano, I posted it on public, and what I used was the Wyckoff distribution theory, and it was really shocking to see how the charts themselves follow that pattern almost to the T. So that's what we're talking about. Accurately, right? So now Bitcoin currently trading at 35,000. Man, I had a limit order at 35,500. It got hit last night, right? And looks like we'll continuing to rip to the downside here. Double up.
Yeah.
Where do you think we're heading next up?
Do we start first by showing people folks the Wyckoff theory so that they can better understand why we believe that Bitcoin is still gonna keep going down? So if you're out there and you want to buy Bitcoin, or you still believe in cryptocurrency after a lot of these crashes, you just might want to check this out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think let's begin with the Wyckoff theory.
All right. Let me pull that baby up real quick.
All right.
So I'm gonna pull up the current situation that we're in right now.
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen. All right. Let's see. Let's make this bigger.
There we go.
All right. So
can you zoom into that?
Let me see if I can zoom into this baby. All right. Better.
There we go.
All right. So just looking at this chart right now, folks are like, okay, what's going to happen to my Bitcoin? Or what's going to happen to my crypto? Because literally everything follows Bitcoin at the moment, right?
Yeah.
There might be some detangling going on pretty soon here. But if you're looking at the chart right now, we are currently at phase D.
Yeah, maybe somewhere there. Yeah, pretty close to it.
Yeah,
pretty close. Yeah.
And this is basically telling us that we have some more downs coming.
Absolutely.
Right. But the question is, are we going to just keep going down? That's the question. Right. So we can go back and look at the charts.
That's where our support levels come in then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and the interesting thing about, I also want to point out, we did this technical analysis on Bitcoin maybe a week or two ago, and we put this support and resistance lines here a long time. Actually, I remember we did this before it actually even got to what was it, to 42K? Yeah, it was about 41K, 42K, wherever that top that one of the support lines are. We did that. We added the next line here, which was going to be 38, and we said worst case scenario, then we might make it down to 29K. Look like that worst case scenario is essentially unfolding right now. Right.
Did you see why you put that little B icon, that Bitcoin icon? Bitcoin? It's exactly right there.
That is where it is. Now, the interesting thing as well is that with what has been happening with Bitcoin over the past couple months, right? We've been experiencing what we consider a double head. Now, a double head is a bearish pattern, right? This is kind of when you have this rise and a fall. Right, and then another rise and a fall. Usually there'll be like a neck in between kind of thing, like right here. So what we're seeing is that Bitcoin kind of went through that first head over there, and now we're just coming to the completion of the second head, which will create a double head. I think we have a don't we have some sort of an image for this one?
Yeah, right. Let me go ahead and pop that up.
All right, let's see.
Right.
Is that the one? I think that's
it.
Yeah. So this would be a typical double head pattern, right? And these things are kind of everywhere. You can just go on Google and type up candlestick patterns, right? And you will see various things that have happened over time and that keep repeating themselves. So this is your double head. Right, usually it would drop below that line and it might come back to test the line, and if it does not break above that line, then it continues to fall. Right. In this case, I would say that where you see that lower red line there, I believe that might become 29K on Bitcoin pretty soon. All right. So let's see here. So that is where we have. If you kind of compare this to the image we just saw there, you will see that we have the double tops there. We're now dropping, and we have to get to a point where it's level with the previous bottoms, right? And it might break below it. In that case, it would make sense why some people on Twitter are saying Bitcoin might go to like 24K, right? Or 25K. I don't see it personally, but it's not impossible. Your thoughts, Double O?
Yeah, you can argue with me all you want. Technical analysis don't work. We've used them. We've seen it worked. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it. It's gonna happen. Someone was just telling me, hey, you said some TAs earlier in the week, and I played some puts and made some money. I stopped playing options. I'm just tired of losing money with options. But that said, though, I'm glad the fellow public member made a lot of money.
Right.
The reality is this: technical analysis does work. There are documents and research over this for years. And the Wyckoff theory is telling us that we have a double head. This is not the end of it. We're going to see more crashes. So right now we have a 29K coming.
Absolutely.
It's gonna touch 30K at least.
Now, you know what I think is one of the biggest reasons why the TA works is because ultimately what you look at on this chart here, it's human psychology.
Yep.
And that always remains the same. So humans keep doing the same things over and over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we go over to the accumulation phase of the Wyckoff theory there, right? I'll just like to run through all of these coins that we looked at, by the way, because there's a similar pattern emerging. So I don't think there's really going to be a ton that is going to be different as far as TA, because really all of them are heading in the same direction. If we look at Ethereum, right,
okay, let's go.
You will see that we have a similar situation. Where do we think that bottom is there? I mean, you can never really time the bottom, but the next support line that we imagine is about $1,776, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Cardano, Cardano already made it there. I'm thinking that Cardano will probably be the only ones that is going to break away from this in a different pattern. What do you think?
Cardano made an attempt last night to break away and detangle itself from the pattern, but it failed heavily. But the candles that we're seeing here is way past, 3 dead crow. It's gonna go down. Cardano could be as low as
82 cents.
Cardano could be as low as 90 cents, 95 cents.
95 cents. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going with 82 cents. I'm gonna put we have 82 there, and we have 95 up there.
Yeah, as you can see, Cardano has this double head over there as well, and it's made several attempts to come back up, but it keeps failing, which is what we just showed you in the Wyckoff theory chat. It looks exactly the same. It's not an exact straight line down, but it's made those 2 tries, and it's tried to come up several times. Those are the 2 tries, and it's failed. So it's gonna keep trying.
Absolutely. Well, looking at Phantom as well, we got 3 black crows on Phantom. Actually, last night it wasn't there because I was telling you about it, and then later on this morning, it's like super early in the morning, I looked at the charts again, and we have 3 black crows. The support line, the first support line at least for this one, is $1.28. If we pull that back here, do you think it's gonna fall further?
Well, it's the double head format again. We've showed you what the double head format looks like. Let me put it up again. Just leave that right there. Let me pull up the double head real quick. Show you guys what happens when that happens, so that it's not Kenny just making stuff up. This is just facts. This is documented year over year. The first peak, sometimes the second peak is a little bit above the first peak, but then it just comes. If it fails that support level, which we have drawn in that diagram right there, it's coming down, baby. I'm sorry. I love Phantom. I was lucky to get some at 90 cents. I've been loading since this crash. It might not touch it if some good news comes out of the market. But with what's going on in Ukraine and all these European countries, which are heavily crypto mining countries, we might see some more dips. Just kind of like what happened with Kazakhstan, and we had that dip. It's kind of similar to what happened this time, 2021.
2021. Absolutely.
Yep.
This is true. Things were kind of down during this period of time. I mean, there's always some sort of distraction. There's a combination of things that tend to lead to this downturns, right?
Yep.
Of course, including people just collecting profits. Now, same thing with Solana. I mean, we have the support level drawn there at $79. It's possible we can make it there. Mana, which we did we did these earlier in the week, so we're not really doing anything new here. I think the support level there is $1.60, and if that fails, the next point is going to be $1.07.
Yeah,
right. So
I mean, folks were chasing those metaverse coins really bad when they were going up, and we were just like, this is not looking good, because as long as those prices are above those moving averages, you probably just chase it. Like, you just have to chill. Like, you're gonna get your second opportunity, and that's what we're trying to preach here, is that you're always gonna get an opportunity, and that's the opportunity. If you thought that you missed out on the metaverse, this is not it. And you can also actually go look at the stock markets, the actual companies like Intel, Microsoft, that are also gonna be putting this technology into play. If you don't want to buy crypto, the same thing is happening to those companies as well. The prices are going down, which is now giving an opportunity to get in the game.
Absolutely. I will say this though, I do find it interesting that the almost, I would say at least 50% of the stocks on the S&P have fallen below 50%.
Yep.
Which that classifies. I think that should be. I mean, it is classified as a crash, but somehow the news is not. It's not talking about that very much, but definitely talking about other things like voting rights, which technically your voting rights may not matter if you don't have enough money to be independent of the government. But let's leave that one alone. The final one here is
let me quickly show them what's going on here with all the metaverse related stocks.
Right.
That right there is Meta. See that price right there? Oh no, that's not Facebook. I need to change that. Amazon down, Intel down, Avgo down, Qualcomm down. So it's all going
look at that
down.
gap, dude. That gap has to get filled.
It's going to go fill that gap.
Can you zoom in? Can you zoom into that gap?
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let's see. What's that, Marvel or Qualcomm?
Oh no, what is that?
Oh yeah, that's
that
Qualcomm.
One.
Yeah.
What is Qualcomm doing these days anyway?
Building chips.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that gap has to get filled. I mean everyone knows the gap has to get filled. So
AMD down, Nvidia down. So you're like, yeah, you know what? You don't give a flying F about crypto. Okay, look at the stocks as well. Everything is crashing.
Yeah, I think all the gains from this year are pretty much being erased, and then when you add that on with inflation,
look at Roblox, right?
We're losing.
Of course, you want to get involved in the metaverse. Roblox, everybody was chasing Roblox. Look at that, down. So yeah, this is when billionaires are made, really, actually, in the stock market. Most people are selling,
buying, right? We're just
exactly
the cash, and yeah. I mean, it's interesting, man. There's a difference between it's a big difference when you're taking action during this time versus someone who is wondering if they should sell, what they should do. You know what I mean? Because we kind of plan these things ahead of time. So when these things happen, you're asking different questions from someone who just jumped into whatever for the sake of it. But
yeah, again, it's not financial advice. But if you're not into crypto and into stocks, this is, again, not financial advice. This is when I would be buying these certain companies. And I still think that there's still some more downs, because we just showed you guys what SPY was doing. SPY still has a lot more down to go. So you can just buy your journey to the bottom so that you can enjoy your bottom, your buying or your positions to the top.
Absolutely. Well, let's wrap this one up here before we go. So we're going to, this is SAN actually, and SAN is, we have the lines there at $2.23 and what else? $1.02 if that support does not hold, and of course 71 cents itself. So
and SAN, by the way, is another one of those metaverse coins that
it
has
is a metaverse
potential
coin.
But again, the candles, the charts are saying that it's coming down. So it's up to you when you want to buy instead of selling. We would recommend selling. Again, not financial advice, but what we'll be doing is buying the bottom and not buying, not selling. That's what I meant to say.
Okay. Well, there is, after this, really, I think the next step that I'm watching for, and you're watching for as well, is the accumulation phase. Right? Once we get to a point where, because let me start by saying that I'm not timing the bottom. I don't care where the bottom is. We are just looking at the support levels, and we have limit orders on the way down, right? And I'll accumulate what I can accumulate, whatever I can afford at the end of the day. And so there's a point where you kind of start to realize that, okay, well, we're not falling anymore. The trend changes. That's what happens, and you start heading upward, right? And that's what the accumulation phase is. We're not. I don't think we're on that chart yet. Do you think we are?
Let's go back to the chart real quickly. Pull up Bitcoin, for example.
Right. Let's see. We have Bitcoin there.
Yep. Pull up Bitcoin real quick. based on these charts,
Okay.
we've not tested enough. So I will pull up, just look at Bitcoin real quick and look at the falling, right? And let's see the charts here. The Wyckoff chart. We've not reached that stable where it's bouncing up and down to see, okay, it's time to get back in. It's still falling. So we're still in stage A in the accumulation phase, phase A in the accumulation phase, where it's still falling.
Right.
There's nothing we can do there until we start seeing some candles moving up and coming back down, or moving up and coming back down. Kind of creates that what's that pattern that goes side horizontal wedge, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the horizontal wedge.
Yeah,
building a base.
Building the base. Until we get to building the base, it's still falling. So 29,000, 30,000 is possible for Bitcoin. Again, I'll say that again. 30,000, 29,000 currently with the current candles is possible for Bitcoin. Until we start building the base, the Bitcoin is not coming back up. And it's not going to be a dramatic up move. It's going to fake you up. It might even go lower than 30K and go down to 29K, 27K.
Right.
Could be really bad and go down to 13K. Ugh,
Jesus
don't
Christ,
want that
man.
to happen.
I don't want to feel depressed. You can stop there. Biggie Yat says hi.
Hey,
Biggie
what's
Yat, how's
up?
it going, brother? Oh man, but I don't know, where did you come up with 13K from, bro? I think you're kind of going to the deep end with that one, man. Let's
Man, don't let me freak you out. Let me show you those candles. All right, let me show you those candles real quick. So go back to the chart and zoom out. You always gotta zoom out, right?
Okay.
Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Let me pull up my charts real quick over here. Give me a second. Bitcoin. Okay. If we fail 29,000, folks, if we fail 29,000, and again, there's a lot of situations going on. Federal rate increases coming up in March, possibility of going to war, inflation is still high, federal regulations are still coming, right? Of course, the CBDC is coming as well. Jesus Christ. Is that enough for the war against just one guy, against Bitcoin itself? So of course, the candles look really bad right now. We're going to 30K, but then let's say we reach 30K and then the regulations come right after that. Boom. Or CBDCs comes right after that. Boom. Or we'll go to war right after that. Boom. So what's going to happen?
Oh,
don't get depressed. It's what happens when you just buy up. Bitcoin never dies.
I cannot speculate on the future. I'm just going to go with the charts here, you know?
Yep.
But I mean, I think it's a lot going on, man. We just have to wait and see what happens.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I think this is, again, like we've kind of pointed out, we think everything is kind of heading in the same direction. Well, everything is heading in the same directions. We're just setting our limit orders, and we'll see what happens. Let us know what you are doing. Where are your limit orders? By the way, Bigger Yet, where are you from, brother?
Yeah, where are you checking us out from?
Where are you tuning in from? That'd be interesting to know. And who else is watching? Anyone else is watching? Can you comment below? Let us know where you're from and how you found the channel as well.
Yep, thank you. Yep, well, the summary of the day is everything is crashing. It's doomsday. It's winterland, but the wise investors buy during the doom times, and that's what we're trying to do as well.
Oh, dude, Bigger Yet is from Nigeria.
Ooh, snap!
Niger. Okay, thanks for watching.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Here we go.
All
right.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, we gotta run, but before we do, ladies and gentlemen, okay, follow us on Facebook, StackFin. Follow us on, what is that one called? Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, Stack Crypto, and of course we are on Twitter. You know, Peter Schiff. Oh, dude, this reminds me. I was on Twitter yesterday, okay, and there was a group called I forgot. Bitcoin Crash Therapy. So
they got a therapy group now.
Yeah, it was a bunch of people who were losing in Bitcoin right now. They had a gathering, a coming together to, you know, I mean, it is what it is. And of course, Peter Schiff had a thing to let people know that, you know, listen, I've been telling you guys about gold, blah, 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 all of that stuff. So, but please follow us on Stackfin on Twitter. Let's see.
Yeah, so that's my little brother in Nigeria.
That is your younger brother.
Yeah. That's my little twin brothers. Yeah, man. Hey, bro, we're buying, man. If you just want to know what we're doing, we're buying. Buy the dip. I can give you that advice. It's family.
Hey, it is buy the dip and hold. I was say that.
Baby, hold. Yes, sir.
Hold, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I think this is it for this one, man. We've covered everything. Any final thoughts, sir?
Well, as always, man, thanks for liking and subscribing. Those that have been in Bitcoin for a while knows and they're used to the cycles. We've been here too for now about 1.5 cycles. So this is really good for us. We're glad to see this. It's giving us an opportunity to buy at the prices that we would have loved to buy a year ago.
True.
Actually, we did not show you guys that earlier. The movement of Bitcoin compared to the to the SPY has been actually a lot more, even with these dramatic downtrends. So we're still betting that Bitcoin is still going to outperform SPY in the long term. So yeah, thanks for liking and subscribing. We believe in Bitcoin and of course the crypto space. And thank you.
Yeah. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Brazen out.
Is there double O out?